So you type something into ChatGPT and the output is great, sounds totally reasonable, sounds good, no? But you realize it's wrong. What happened here? You encountered a hallucination. And yes, all systems, ChatGPT, Claude, from Anthropic or Gemini, they all have them. Those machines invent stuff. In this episode, we look why they invent stuff and how and what you can do against it. Yeah, welcome to another episode of the AI for the 99% podcast for startups, freelancers, entrepreneurs, small firms, mom and pop shops. Here you find the tips and tricks that help you in your daily life, how to use AI and get ahead of the competition. And don't forget to hit subscribe on your podcasting app to never miss an episode. So let's jump right into the topic. It's Dietmar from Argo Berlin guiding you through this episode. Yeah, so you probably had this yourself that you put something in and the output is not right. But there are also famous cases like the one with the lawyer. And in court, the judge realized his sources were not existing, were non existing. What happened? He made his case by using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT invented the sources, which didn't come out well for this lawyer. Yeah, so that happens. It also happened to the Trump administration when they had this great formula how to tax other countries. It's quite probable, they obviously never said that it is this, but it's quite probable that they also asked ChatGPT how to calculate reciprocal taxes. Yeah, ChatGPT doesn't do things always right. And this is interesting because it's technically the outcome is technically false, but not wrong in a logical sense. It's just a matter of probability. What happens there? Uh, what happens there is the machine outputs the text, and this text is coincidence in a certain way. The machine doesn't know what it outputs. So ChatGPT doesn't know what it writes there. It just writes something that has a certain probability. An example would be, I want to go to, could be Rome. Could be, I want to go home. Could be, I want to go to 6 figures a year. Could be, I want to go out of my way to become a successful podcaster. Whatever it is, the sentence starts the same, and ChatGPT throws a big 90,000 pages sites dice and fills in the blank. The blank is then either filled well with something that makes sense or not, and then it's a hallucination. So the hallucination is a matter of concept. It's not that the machine does something purposefully wrong or it errors on certain thing. It is just a matter of probability. And so it's a big dice, and the dice can be wrong sometimes. The funny thing about it, after ChatGPT generates something, you can ask it if the context, if the thing is what it generates, the output is right, and it checks it and said, no, that isn't right, sorry. Because now it checks a complete sentence and knows if it's right or wrong. While it generates the sentence, it doesn't know. So this is actually really funny because, yeah, it is still a machine. It's not a sentient being. You have to think of it as a machine. You have to use it like a machine. Yeah, tips for using it better would be never publish without checking. So if you generate something with ChatGPT, Gemini and co, always check. Or use another LLM. I do it like I generate my podcast sometimes with ChatGPT and then check with Claude or with Mistral. So I have another instant checking. You can also check with ChatGPT itself, but then you find some errors and that helps you. Or just read through it and be open, be awake and check the sources. Another thing would be give enough context. This example with I'm going to, if I write about Italy and Rome, I'm going to Rome is quite probable. So if it's a business context, I'm going to make 6 figures a year, it's more probable. So the context also determines what comes as next word. And the more context you give the machine, the better the output. Um, Another thing would be use better models. That's unfortunate that they mostly cost, but the better models have less hallucinations. They are just trained and developed to be better in this. So yeah, the free version is great, but the paid version is better. A last thing that's more like a special case, don't give math or logic examples, questions to the machine without extensive prompting. This logical things, the machine is not good. It's a text machine. If you give it some calculations, it should work with numbers. Numbers are not text. It can't do it in itself. You have to give it some help there, make some logical steps easy for the machine, or even make it write a small program to do something. But that's a topic for another episode. For now, just be careful with logic and math because the machine is not really good at it. So my homework for today would be go to ChatGPT and uh, ask some really improbable questions like math or like stuff where the machine doesn't know much. Let's say you come from a small village somewhere in the countryside, ask something about this village and see how accurate the information is. We had an example for someone in the tourist industry asking about a city and how is it with recreational activities. Actually funny, you probably know the city. It's a small German city, but it's Hamelin. It's where the piper of Hamelin comes from. Yeah, but ChatGPT told to go to the swim, how it's called, piscina schwimmen. But the Spanish, I have the German, to the swimming area, to the recreational swimming area. And yeah, basically the case was closed for 20 years, but the machine didn't realize that. So yeah, those things you can provoke, and then you see some hallucinations. Yeah, thank you for listening to this episode, and hope to have you back in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the AI for the 99% podcast. And it's Dietmar from Argo Berlin signing off.